Hello friends, welcome back to a brand new video. Today I'm back here in Genshin Impact because I'm going to be doing a character showcase today, and it is going to be of Jean. Now if you're wondering why I randomly chose Jean, of course there are some reasons for that. One of them, well the main one, being she was actually my first 5-star in the entire game. Now I know that since a lot of you might know that I have C3 Mona, you would all be thinking, oh, Mona was your first 5-star. But no, she is not. I actually didn't realize she was my first 5-star up until recently when I was rewatching one of my old videos to get a clip from it, and I said, since I have Jean.
But what I do have is Jean. Jean is a healer, and I don't really use her that much, but she is Animo.
And at that time, I think I was around AR 25, and then I realized Jean was my first 5-star, and I was like, wow, that actually is really interesting because Jean, I never used her. I've never used her before, because I didn't really know much of her potential and what she could do. So she sat at level 20 for a while, but that was until recently when I decided to finally level her up for today's video. But anyways, let's just get straight into it. Now as you can see, Jean here is level 80, finally, long awaited. I don't have any artifacts on her just yet. I don't have her weapon either, but she is C1 for some reason. I'm not exactly sure when I got C1 Jean. Oh my god, it's at the end. Oh no! But I think her C1 is actually pretty good. It increases the pulling speed of Gale Blade, which is her E, after holding for more than 1 second, and increases its damage by 40%. So like, when you're throwing an enemy off a cliff, it does like 40% more damage, which I think is really good. I did level her talents as well, so that this video would be, you know, good. We got 4, 5, 7, I think it's pretty typical, but let's put some artifacts on her. I'm not exactly sure what the recommended set is. I guess I could have guessed that. 4-piece Viridescent seems to be what is needed for like a DPS thing. I know she is mainly used as a healer because obviously her Q, the healing scales off her attack, which I think is kind of interesting. So I think a lot of people would put on like 2-piece Viridescent, 2-piece Gladiators or something. But I'm going to be doing 2 tests today. One of them is going to be a straight healer test, and the other is going to be a DPS test. First though, I think I am going to do the healer test, which basically means just stacking as much attack as possible. And for this, I can use my makeshift Shenhe build, because Shenhe works the same way pretty much, except she's not a healer, she's a support instead, but she still needs a lot of attack. Alright, here's the build. I know it looks a little bit strange, but that is because, basically, I'm just trying to have as much attack as possible. Now, I know it looks low right now, but that is because she has a dull blade on, so let's give her a weapon here. Now, unfortunately, I don't have any weapon that has attack percent on it, that is like past like level 20, so I think for now we're just going to give her this sword, the Favonius sword, because of its energy recharge, and also its passive is really good for energy regeneration, because crit hits have a 90% chance to generate elemental particles, which can help a lot with that. But now that brings her attack up to 2,260, which is a lot more than when we were beginning. But anyways, I guess let me show you the artifacts. This flower is really impressive to me, that's why I am very happy about it for Shenhe. But anyways, here's the plume, here's the sands, here's the cup, and here's the crown. Now I know the substats on these artifacts are not very good because they don't stack a lot of attack, but I just went with what I could, because Shenhe's build was pretty rushed, and by the way, I don't have Shenhe, so I'll probably fix it eventually when I actually get her. But anyways, I think her ratio is pretty bad, but that doesn't even matter right now, so I guess now that's enough yapping. Let's just test her and see how much she can actually heal. So for this test, we're going to be using my character that has the most HP, Zhongli, and then throwing him off a cliff and seeing how much Jean will heal. Alright, Zhongli. We have a nice death, I guess. And by the way, for those of you that are wondering, I would be putting a healing bonus crown on Jean, but the only healing bonus I have is on the Ocean-Hued Clam set, and its substats are all stacked HP, so it would not be very good for this build, because I already have an off-piece, and it's that flower, so yeah. Okay, so I don't know if you have to be in combat for this effect to work better, but I'm just gonna hope that we don't need to, so let's do her Q. Hey, pretty good, and it's quick too. Okay, that's not bad, considering that Zhongli has 55,000 HP, and per tick, Jean did about 1.3k. Now, I know if she had a healing bonus circlet, which unfortunately I can't do at the moment, then she'd probably be able to do a lot more. Maybe, I'm not quite sure, but the initial amount that she did when she did her burst was pretty good, so yeah, I think that speaks for itself. Now though, let's switch her build and go for a full DPS build. Now for this, since the recommended is 4-piece Viridescent and the second most recommended build is 2-piece Gladiators, 2-piece Viridescent, I'm going to be testing both of them. Alright, here's her 4-piece Viridescent build. Here's the flower, here's the plume, here's the sands, here's the cup, and here's the crown. Now, obviously, as one could suspect, her crit rate is a little bit low, but the way I'm going to fix that is by eating some food when it comes to doing the actual test, so that I can give her a crit damage sword, because her crit damage is a little bit low right now, but if we do that, it goes up to 187. So I think this is pretty good. If we eat like an 8% crit rate food, we can bring this up to about 60. So yeah, I think this will be pretty good. Now for the party, we're obviously going to want to have Faruzan because she amplifies animo damage and decreases opponents' animo resistance. And then I think we're also going to have Mona. And the last character I want to put in is Benny. And we also have Animo Res, which decreases stamina by 15% and increases movement speed, and shortens elemental skill cooldown by 5%, so that's really nice. Alright, it's time for the test. Now I ate some food that gave about 10% crit rate, so that brought... Okay. Jean, please crit for the love of God. Hey, there we go. That was 9k physical. Alright, well, as we saw, Jean hit a solid 64k, which is pretty cool. She did around 30k with her E off camera, so I'll show that clip now. That was not a crit. Oh, okay, her E crit. And then she did 9k physical, which was completely out of pocket, by the way. But yeah, I think that was pretty good. I know she's capable of doing a lot more. I've seen some other people test their Jean with really good artifacts and like amazing C6 characters and all that stuff, but I don't have that, so that is probably the best that we are going to do for that. Anyways, now though, let's switch this to a 2-piece Viridescent 2-piece Gladiator build and see if she does more, less, or the same amount of damage. Okay, switched her artifacts, and that brought her ratio up a lot more. So I know the food effect is still on, but I think that it's going to be a little bit better because her crit damage and her crit rate are all a little bit higher. So let's test her again. Okay, so we're back with our burst and the Regisvine has respawned. The food did run out, so I had to replenish it with one that wasn't the delicious variety, so it's only giving us 8% crit rate, which is okay, but it could be a lot better. Okay, hopefully Jean actually crits this time. Come on, Jean, I believe in you. Oh yeah. 70k. Hey, that was good. I didn't get the chance to do her E because she basically killed it with one hit, but I still think that was really good. She did 6,000 more than she did with the 4-piece Viridescent build. I think that's because we're not really swirling anything and we're heading for like straight Anemo damage, so that's why that extra attack boost helped a little bit. That does wrap up our Jean testing though. Alright guys, I hope you have enjoyed this video. If you want to see more content like this in the future, showcases, challenges, etc., make sure to let me know by leaving a like and subscribing if you haven't already. Also make sure to hit the notification bell so you never miss out on any new content that I upload. And I also want to say thank you so much for 12,000 subscribers. I am so happy about it. I will be doing a Q&A in my community tab, so make sure to check down there and list any questions that you have for me, or reply to the pinned comment below this video with any questions there as well. But yeah, that's all from me. I will see you guys next time. Bye, friends!